some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, the doo-dah day.
Boom. And it's a quick opening now.
Yeah.
That gives us another minute and a half to talk by shortening it up like that.
Yes. And
Right.
I've already
We
checked
just gotta find something to talk about for that extra minute.
I've already checked the other channel, and Thursday night's problem of my not being able to switch to Last Man Standing style, which they have noticed they have renamed instead of branding.
Hi, Michaela.
Everything worked. Didn't even have to press a button.
Yeah.
Oh, you just hit start stream and it went, right?
I opened up the window
Yeah.
and went backstage, and it's already set up for Last Man Standing.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, that's the way
new features. Yeah.
that's the way it has always worked in the past.
Yeah.
Didn't have to switch from one to the other, just go to that particular studio and it already switched over. And yes, hi Michaela, good to see you. Where are the rest of our motley crew? That's what I want to know.
Don't know.
Oh, point of order, Mr. Chairman. Is 10 and 11:30 going to be the Thursday times as well?
No, it'll be normal.
Normal? What's normal? It hadn't been normal in a while.
It is kind of strange to hear Joe use that word.
Yeah. We Thursdays used to be 9 and 11, and Saturdays was 11 and 1.
Yeah.
But we've cut back to to the hour and a half show here, so Dan's not up till
3.
We wrote Dan's show now starts at 11:30 on Saturday night,
like the Tonight Show.
Yep.
I'm very gratified. I learned how to switch on and off the heater and went through the different settings for the truck transmission today, and as far as I can determine, it does not have cruise control. The owner's manual is a bit vague about that because it covers several different options. I guess the original owner of the truck did not choose that particular option. I am greatly saddened by the lack of cruise control, but I can deal.
That's kind of odd. That truck I bought with the 6-speed manual transmission has cruise control.
Well,
which is very odd for a manual transmission,
Yes, it is.
Shoot. How do I get out of this? Okay. I got to
You've been
do.
asking yourself that for as well. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
I am working on something right quick.
Yep.
I've got to share a video.
Okay, hang on a second. Michaela says, here's some things she learned that if she buys land in Arkansas, she can hunt without buying a permit. Actually, I can do that in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
If I own the land,
Yep.
I might still have to buy deer tags,
Yeah.
but
The neighbors might get upset if you shoot their cows just because they wander on your property. But other than that,
believe me, as large as my parents' property is, I don't think they make a bullet that goes that far.
Yep.
That would leave anything edible of a deer.
My daughter has posted a video that I need to share.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right.
You're gonna start spraying. Start spraying. Start spraying. Okay, open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Mine didn't even go on there.
Green. Green.
No, it's a bullet!
It's boy colored, weirdo. You get to have a baby brother. Yeah. I saw it. I started crying. I was like, you can't look at me.
Evie.
You're gonna have a baby brother.
Did we redo mine
So you know what that means, don't you?
you got to clean up a lot of silly string.
I got another grandson a coming.
Yep.
Hey, that's nothing bad whatsoever.
You see, so when can they start working HaloCon?
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, well,
At least 10 years.
Legally. They can start working the crowd at maybe 2. But and
So does this
John,
even up the number of boys and girls for your grandchildren?
Yeah, it's evened up now.
I was going to say, John, don't knock silly string. People in the Middle East, our troops in the Middle East were begging for that stuff to search for tripwires. It may be a strange thing, but if it works, it ain't stupid.
Nope.
And then didn't the company donate like a freaking truckload?
Something, yeah.
Mm.
That and the other thing that comes in handy for that is Christmas tree tinsel.
Yes, yes. Although you've actually got to have somebody with a good pitching arm to throw.
No. You attach it to a small stick with a little piece of like tape, and you simply walk it in front of you.
Oh, and if a tripwire is there,
and you can tie it onto your rifle muzzle and run your rifle muzzle in first. So that actually works pretty good too. There's all sorts of neat little gizmos.
I know. There was one that the fat electrician talked about once, and he uses it in the intro for his show. It was instead of throwing a fragmentation grenade into a building when you first kick the door open, he threw a rubber duck in. Quack, bang, out.
We have this thing about clearing minefields where everybody gets a lane, and your lane is about as wide as both your arms. Okay. So, and as you go down there, to mark the lane as you're clearing it for mines, we use poker chips. Plastic poker chips, just the cheapo, buy them at Walmart poker chips. They come in 3 different colors.
Yeah.
They're waterproof.
Yeah.
They're heavy enough that unless the wind is just really kicking, they don't get blown around like paper markers or anything like that. And because you get your 3 different colors, you have a code for what each poker chip represents.
Okay.
White are your lane markers because they stand out like, you know.
Should you be talking about this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Everybody does it now. Hey, no offense. If Russia and Ukraine will quit shooting at each other, I may get a job over there clearing minefields. So yeah, this.
Okay,
I hope it
you're going
pays
to be
really well.
unemployed for a while.
No, there is a very real possibility once Trump gets into office, he's going to put the kibosh on this thing. So,
Well, they done flew a heavily armed drone into a skyscraper in Russia. Yeah,
probably
Ukraine's
false flag.
yeah. Ukraine's starting to attack inside Russia now.
They've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Just, occasionally it actually makes the news.
I'm seeing this 6 days too late, but I'm still having trouble with this.
What?
Martha Quinn has turned 65.
Oh yes, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
her.
Oh.
I mean, she still looks way younger than she is, but
oh well, she always looked like a little elf. So
yeah, really, I'm still older than she is. So, that reminds me, I need to trim this. It's starting to bother me. I've got the Kris Kringle look going on. Really, it's the right time of year for it. Yes, I've had that reaction in a store.
And you have to play the part, Dan. You know that.
Well, yes, I'm a great grandfather. I know how to do this. I don't
That's why
use
John
the deep
keeps it
voice.
short.
I'm really a little too light for it now because I have been losing weight here lately because just before I retired, with all the plague nonsense going on, I was just binge eating out of boredom. Well, I've stopped doing that now, and I've started working outside in the yard and everything like that, and it's given me some decent exercise. Oh, and Michaela will like this. We've actually seen a couple of the little deer that we saw as just tiny fawns running around in the woods behind the house. They're grown now, and they're beautiful. And I'm going to hope that the neighbors really just let them be. And naturally, I've started driving slower on the road in front of my house because there's a gas pipeline really close by, and they like the cleared space to go across the pavement from. They use it as a path miles and miles long that keeps getting mowed for them. But yeah, beautiful deer in the woods. Haven't seen too many of the coyotes recently.
Huh.
That worries me. They're either getting better at hiding or
Dried up.
we've had a next door neighbor that there's all kinds of gunfire coming from her house. Matter of fact, I just heard somebody, and it's already way after dark, so it can't be hunting. Somebody shooting off a machine gun up here. And from the sound of it, it was less than 3 miles away.
Hello, Carl.
And
Hey,
Carl,
Carl.
I'm gonna tell you like they used to tell me at work. If you can't get here on time, just get here when you can.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a letter from the factory today.
A Christmas letter?
No, they were talking about the 2023 insurance. And I'm going, this is useless information. I've been retired since February. I can't use the insurance anymore. And it's 2023. That was already outmoded before I retired.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you waste a sheet of paper printing this out and a mailing permit to send it to me?
Now, is your pension through the company or through the union? Or
Neither.
is it both?
Neither. It's through
Third
Fidelity
party.
Investments.
Third
The,
party.
the company turned it over to the people that run the 401k. So it's out of their hands entirely. They can't touch it.
Okay, but the company provided the pension.
The company provided the pension.
Okay.
I had the option of joining the 401k, so I have both.
Mm.
And it being an election year and knowing that the stock market is going to go crazy no matter what happens, I've almost emptied the 401k and put it into a high interest savings account.
Yeah.
And I'm now earning, let's see, December 1st, the interest on 100 grand was almost $300.
I finally, I tried to get on the green room last night. I couldn't hear anybody.
Mm.
I kept trying to figure out where the button was because I know what the problem was. It was set for headphones and not speaking. I didn't want to wear headphones.
Mm-hmm.
I kept trying to find the button. I kept looking at my computer at the button, and it's on speaker. I'm like, no, you're right. And the headphones are shut off. And I'm like, okay, I'm hearing stuff on my computer. I just can't hear anything on Discord. Turns out Discord has a button, and it's one of those weird right-click buttons where you have to go to, instead of going down and toggling on-off like you think you normally would, you have to right-click and then pick a device.
Mm.
So.
Oh, StreamYard does that too.
You got it.
If I play with
I
the
just
settings,
found the button. So
if I play with the settings and I've been using OBS to record something, StreamYard wants to default to OBS as my virtual camera and sound system instead of the way we normally make it work. So I have to be careful with stuff like that. Okay, yeah, Carl's here. Okay, good enough.
Oh, so have you been about your little your wood stove? Have you been able to fire it up yet, or?
It's been too cold for me to go outside and work. I misunderstood which stove you were talking about at first.
Yeah, that's
the brand new one we got for the indoor kitchen is working wonderfully. We had a little bit of trouble. We first plugged it up, and it turns out, oddly enough, if you don't read the manual and you hit too many of the wrong buttons, it refuses to do anything.
yeah.
So,
But I was asking about the wood stove. So you've not been able to at least build a fire in it yet?
I could at any time, but I would definitely get a face full of smoke because the chimney only goes up a couple of feet and turns 90 degrees right where I would be standing. So if we get some mild days before spring, I can go out there and finish putting the rest of the stovepipe together and put it on, put the cap on it, and then I'm going to fire it up.
Well, you can always get the stove pieces and put them together there in your office and then carry it outside, slap it on.
My wife does not want me to do that. I mean, if they came pre-welded together already in a cylinder
Yeah.
It'd already be put together, but I've got to get out there, put one end of it almost all the way together, put vice grips on it, and then try and get the rest of the seam sealed. I figured out a quick way to do that. Hose clamps and a
Yep.
drill.
Yeah.
Pop, pop, pop. It's been
I know exactly which one you're talking about. And I hate to say this, about the only time that it's almost comfortable to be outside is between about 11 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's between 2 and 3, which, fits much better with my sleep time because I'm not getting out of bed before noon. Uh, retirement is wonderful. We're still trying to figure out what the family is going to do for Christmas. I think basically the plan right now is instead of going to a restaurant because most of them will be closed,
Yep.
the whole family just goes over to mom's with takeaway and spends the evening. So we'll see how that works out. It probably will be Christmas Eve rather than Christmas Day.
Your mom will enjoy having people visit.
Yeah, and considering she hates 90% of the restaurants my sister picks for us to go to.
It might be an enjoyable holiday for her then.
Yeah, except for she's kind of finicky about her diet. I don't know if she's going to want any of the takeout food that we are planning on taking. My idea was that I just go over there early and start cooking in Mama's
Yep.
kitchen.
Yep. She
I'd have to
definitely
get a
does that.
special dispensation to be able to handle anything because she still treats me like she's got to tell me the stove is going to be hot when you turn it on.
Mhm.
I love my mother. She's a little overprotective, though.
That's because you'll always be her little baby, even if you are a grown ass man.
This is something I have come to grips with, and that's another reason why I really need to get off my duff and trim the beard, is because Mama don't like it.
Yeah, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Well, when Lindsay told Mom that she liked the shorter beard,
Mm-hmm.
Mom accepted that.
Yeah.
I mean, you met my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Not very many people are going to say, "Oh, but you're wrong," to that voice.
No, she's quite the lady.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, I'm glad. Sorry. I just saw a funny photo.
What funny?
Hold on, I'll put it in the link chat.
Well, did you notice on the video that I posted that there was the video I posted was a jump scare?
Mm,
That got me.
yeah.
This guy was about to run out of gas, so he pulls into one of those little roadside convenience store gas stations out in the middle of nowhere. And as he almost pulls up to the pump, this truck comes flying through there, takes out the gas pump and the support for the awning.
Damn.
And it falls right in front of his car.
Mm.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I might have had to do a drawer check after that.
I know I would have.
The photo I shared is a common one of Andre 3000 from a movie he was in. They just add a little more to it.
Now I had a
Apparently they're
situation
not
just
doing
about
too
like that, Joe Dog. I pulled into the convenience store gas station that I used to go to on my way home from work, and I
Yeah.
was at that time on my way home from work. I almost opened the door, and the car whizzed by close enough to take the door completely off the hinges, and then spun and went into the trailer park that used to be behind the convenience store. I'm going, if I'd been in a hurry, I'd been needing another door right about now,
Yeah.
or
There's
maybe
been a
another
few games
door
this
and a
year.
leg. Uh,
There's been a few games this year, Joe, when that T would have been replaced with this G.
Oh, yeah. So is Oregon or Ohio beating Tennessee?
They were the last I heard. But
Well, hey,
I heard the rest were doing some home cooking there, and also heard that the cold was affecting Tennessee players.
Okay.
mm.
It's 28-10 Ohio State. They're in the third quarter. They got 9:16 to go.
okay.
They can come back, but
It's possible.
Hey, Dan will understand this. Tennessee can snatch victory or snatch a defeat out of the jaws of victory every time.
You're describing my high school football team quite well.
you're describing the Atlanta Falcons for most of their existence.
Yes. Go
And the Braves
and
during
take
the
the
80s.
Falcons with you.
And the Braves during the 80s.
Yeah, that's when that saying originated, was back during the 80s.
Yeah, go Braves, take them Falcons with you.
Oh, what was it? I was just about to say. Oh, I did an evil deed.
Uh-oh.
What did you?
What was her
What
name?
did I do? There's a guy in Portugal that's been teaching himself how to cook American food.
Uh-oh.
And he's tried biscuits and gravy, biscuits made from scratch, as well as gravy made from scratch,
Ooh.
meatloaf, cornbread, fried chicken that's better than anything I've been able to turn out so far. And basically, that ought to be in my DNA. Well, I said, look, there's no wrong way to do this if the food tastes good. And I elaborated by saying, my mom has made a very simple Appalachian chili using ground beef and pinto beans and crushed tomatoes and onions and spices, and that's about it.
Mhm.
But as I got older, I elaborated on that recipe, and mine has pinto beans and kidney beans and diced bell peppers and sage sausage, as well as uh, hamburger meat, and I went through the whole recipe.
Yep.
And when I was through, after I'd hit the send button, I go, "Oh my God! I just told Portugal how to make chili."
Mm-hmm. All right, Carl, you have a good one. Carl's dipping out for the.
Yeah, extra early shop tomorrow. Yeah, you've got to get ready because some of the stores are going to be closed close to Christmas.
Yeah. And, best way to describe biscuits and gravy to people that don't understand, it's wet flour poured on top of dry flour.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a couple from What is the island that the Germans actually did take away from England in World War II?
The Isle of
Uh,
Wight.
Jersey.
Jersey. Okay.
Oh no! If they'd been at the Isle of Wight, they'd got shot at.
Mhm.
Jersey's far enough offshore to where the shore batteries would not reach.
Mm.
No, and they're going. This looks horrible, but it's something Americans brag about. So let's dig in. First bite. This is the most fantastic food we've ever had in our life.
I got to find their YouTube page.
We talked about before the show, to our viewers watching, baseball great Ricky Henderson died today.
Mm.
Um,
And even though I didn't follow baseball, I knew the name. So that lets you know how famous he was.
Okay.
Lou Brock held the stolen base record for years. He was finally passed up by Ricky Henderson because Ricky Henderson managed to steal 130 bases in a single season. There was supposedly an instance where somebody won the stolen base record for a season, having like somewhere between 50 and 60 stolen bases. Like 60 stolen bases. Ricky Henderson had that before the season was halfway over.
He had that for June.
Yeah, I mean,
Those are rookie numbers. You got to build those up.
Dan, it's their channel's called Your New Zealand Family.
No, that's a different one that I watch.
Okay.
This one is the Beasleys.
Oh, okay.
They're in Europe. New Zealand is down there close to Australia.
Your New Zealand family came to America this past summer. They intentionally landed in Florida. They got off the plane, they got the rental car, and found the first Waffle House.
They're actually quite adorable too.
Yeah.
This is
and
amazing.
the little girl is named Atlanta.
Yeah.
And she has her own cooking channel.
Yeah, she does now. Yeah.
Ricky Henderson finished his baseball career with a .279 career batting average, 3,055 hits, 297 home runs, which is probably the most for a leadoff hitter in the history of Major League Baseball. 1,115 runs batted in, 1,406 stolen bases, and he scored 2,295 runs. He was also a 10-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, AL MVP, American League Championship Series MVP, had a Gold Glove Award, 3-time Silver Slugger Award, a 12-time AL stolen base leader, had his number retired. He's in the Athletics Hall of Fame, and he, of course, is in the Major League Hall of Fame, and he was elected on his first ballot.
I couldn't even equal any of those numbers if I was counting the number of hay bales that my tractor put out in my farming career. And we're talking the little bitty rectangular ones, not the big rolls, because that hadn't been invented before I was no longer farming. I won't call it an escape. That's what I did from Michigan. Took my family with me, but I had to get out of that cold.
But he was an amazing player, and I was fortunate enough to get to watch him once in person.
There's teeny tiny little waif of a girl that has a narrowboat in England, and she has been raffling off tickets for £5 to win her boat so she can finance having one specially built, brand
Mhm.
new. So for basically $7, you could own a British Canal boat in good repair, already in the water.
Yeah, but getting back across that damn ocean is going to be a bitch.
Uh, I have not figured out logistics of this. I didn't buy a raffle ticket. The only logical thing to do would be to move to England, which Lindsay would be all for.
Mhm.
But I'm going, they won't let me bring my firearms. No, I don't think I'll leave.
And
Besides,
they've banned pocket knives now.
yeah, really. That cripples me as being an old farm
Mhm.
boy. That's like taking away everybody's Swiss Army knives or whatever. Um, and oh, well, it hasn't really done anything. They just bust a chair over the bar and kill somebody with a chair leg
Yeah.
or
I'll
break
tell
a
you
bottle.
what. I'll tell you what. England could solve a lot of problems if they issued everybody a handgun. I bet that shit'd quit.
The United States could solve a lot of problems by doing the same thing.
If you live in Kennesaw, Georgia, you
You are required to have one.
yep.
Uh,
If you own a
Uh,
residence or live in a domicile by yourself, you are required to have one.
Well, in Sweden, you're required to have a firearm.
yeah, but you're also required to do a mandatory, I think it's 3-year military service. Is that right, John?
A lot of nations require
You're muted,
military
John.
service.
Where?
Sweden.
I'm
I think
not
it's
sure
I
what.
think it's 3
I know
years, but
France had one, and it's sort of like a 1 year
Israeli
long
has a
basic
requirement.
training.
mhm.
And then Germany, I think, has 2 years. You go through your basic training, then they ship you off somewhere for more advanced training for the other 2 years.
Yeah.
But what's really cool about it is in Germany, it's like going to college. It's like, hey, you got to do your 2-year conscription. Not, oh, okay. And so the job's waiting for you when you get back, and classes, everything.
Mhm.
Good.
The only drawback to Sweden is it's not that you own the firearms. They're locked up in a barracks, and you have to go be issued quite possibly the one in the entire country that has your name on it.
Mm.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's Switzerland where you take it.
No.
And
You're right. You're right. It
Switzerland.
was
That's
it
what I'm
was
thinking. Yeah,
it
Switzerland.
was Switzerland, not Sweden.
Switzerland. When you join the army and go through the whole procedure, and you're done, they issue your weapons and a basic load of ammunition and all your gear, and you keep it at home.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And it's you are ready to. The balloon goes up, the phones start ringing, and say, "Hey, we're getting alerted." You run and grab your rifle, you put your uniform on, grab your gear and your ammo, and go.
We're getting the band back together, guys.
Yeah, but Switzerland's so mountainous. If somebody goes to invade in there, they're in for a hell of a time.
Yeah. Well, anywhere. I don't know how I got Sweden confused with Switzerland. I know they're.
That was my fault. I said Sweden. I meant Switzerland.
Sweden has conscription too, I believe.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Sweden had a hell of an army up to probably the 1600s.
Still does.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
and Finland only needs one guy with a white suit, and
Yeah.
nobody's going to get in the country.
And Sweden has Saabs to make fighter jets out of.
See,
I've driven one of those. They're
Austria. Okay,
basically
here we go.
fighter jets on wheels anyway.
Austria has conscription, but you don't have to get conscripted into the military. You can do alternate service like ambulance driver or paramedic or police officer, stuff like that. So let me see who else. I got a huge list, and it's alphabetical, so I'm trying to find some European ones.
Queen
What's Italy?
Elizabeth the second was an ambulance driver in World War II, I do believe. And she just enjoyed driving so much. There were a couple of Arab diplomats that flew to England, and she drove one of them around herself, no chauffeur, just her at the wheel, and she scared the ever living crap out of him. Because it was all roads she knew very, very well. Because she's doing 70 on a dirt road in a truck.
Denmark has it for 4 to 12 months. Australia. Why did I pick Australia? Where's Austria? That's what I'm looking for. Well, wait a minute. I was trying to find how long Austria was. Didn't say. Oh well. Let's see, where was it going?
Probably 2 years to 3 years.
Denmark,
probably. That seems to be the average.
Estonia, Finland. Let's see. Service period is 165 days, 255 days, or 347 days. Well, strange enough, it's different for rank.
Oh,
if like privates are only 165 day. Non-commissioned officers, sergeants, and stuff are 347 days. And a Finnish citizen who refuses to perform both military and civilian service faces a penalty of 173 days in prison.
Ooh.
So apparently, either way, you're getting conscripted.
Three hots in a cot, no matter what.
Jehovah's Witnesses are no longer exempted.
Ooh.
Apparently, they're pissed off at Russia. That's one way to tell the Russians you're pissed at them. We're conscripting Jehovah's Witnesses. That's
Wow.
They're going to knock on every door. You might as well let them deliver the mail too.
That's part of their service. Okay, I am fading fast, folks. I am going to call it a night. I hope y'all have a good one.
All right,
and Merry Christmas, because I guess we're not going to be on until after the big day. So
we didn't talk about Thursday night yet.
Well,
it's after Christmas anyway.
Yeah, Thursday's the 26th.
Yeah, Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Not a legal holiday in the U.S., but it is one of the British holidays.
But
what we gonna do?
Anyway,
I hope Tyson fights Jake Paul again on Boxing Day. Have you heard some of the rules Tyson had to follow?
No.
No
uppercuts.
That's half his arsenal.
No combination body shots.
Oh, good grief. No wonder the fix was in to begin with. They should have paid him more for having to put up with that crap. All right. On that note, I'm
And
going. Merry Christmas, all. Take care.
Yeah. Some Saudi prince says he'll put up 400 million to fight with real boxing rules, or Saudi prince, or whatever they are.
Yeah.
They have a lot of princes.
Evidently so.
Yeah. Well, but they have it's kind of like England. They have a royal family, and
I'm familiar
Yeah,
with lots
they
and lots
got
of
a
different
royal
countries.
family, and the king has like 55 wives.
Well, with those odds, you're bound to find one in a good mood when you get home.
Yeah. I heard what you said there, Jed Clampett. Well, if a man's got that many wives at home, he's sure to come home and find one in a good mood.
Yeah, seriously. Of course, you got to have billions of dollars to be able to afford that many, but
Yeah.
because they're all going to want their own credit card. And you got to hire drivers for them and everything else.
Yeah. I bet there's times there's some of them Saudi princes wish, damn, I just wish we could let her ass drive.
I know that feeling well enough.
Oh, I saw this video. This woman, it was a mixed race couple and had a kid in the back seat. The woman jumps in the car and goes, go, 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 go. Her husband's going, what's wrong? What's wrong? She said, I just stole all this shit. Go, 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 go. Kid in the back seat stands up and says, Mama, no, you didn't. We both black. I'm like, damn. And the kid jumps out of the car and they go, where are you going? He said, I ain't going to be no accomplice. Thing is, this kid's about 5 or 6.
I've known kids like that. They get very precocious very early.
You ain't putting that on me. Oh,
I ain't going to prison for a tube of toothpaste and some mouthwash.
as a matter of fact, that's what she bought. So you must have seen the video.
No, there's a Dollar General at the end of the road. Lindsay went to the Dollar General to go shopping today. She was gone 5 hours.
In the Dollar General?
In the Dollar General, that's it.
She was conspiring to get one built next door.
Not really. There's no room. Unless you're going to have it built across the road and let the sheep and the cows run it.
You wouldn't mind that, would you? Just walk across the street and get your beer.
They don't sell beer at Dollar Generals down here. I have to go plumb north of Knoxville to find that.
There's ones in Chattanooga, dude.
Yeah, beer, wine. I was amazed. I went the last family reunion before I had the whatever that mutant chicken pox is, where you get
shingles.
That's it. Before I had that, and I can't drive for long periods anymore. We went to a family reunion. Instead of going to the big hotel that the owner who had gone to high school with my mom and dad, he'd passed away, and corporate had made whoever inherited it strip out all his decorations, which were basically just autographed pictures of Hollywood stars for almost 60 years that he'd collected, and his antique car collection and everything else, so that it was exactly identical to every other hotel in that chain. They didn't want it to be individual. He actually had his grandfather's still, the actual still, in a glass case with the recipe on how to do everything, and his dad's leather motorcycle jacket where they got raided by the revenuers and his dad got shot but lived through it. Thank God for 32s.
And they all got, and it all got thrown to dumpster probably.
Probably not. I think it was a family member that inherited the hotel, and he probably said, Daddy was rich. We're going to build a museum, and shipped it across the county away from where corporate had anything to do with it. I mean, you don't mess with hillbillies if you don't
No.
want them to outsmart you.
No. They may sound dumb, they may talk dumb, they may walk dumb, they may live dumb, but they're probably some of the smartest damn people you've ever come across.
And if anything happens, they're the ones you're going to have to go to for help.
No shit. Oh,
right, I'm
FAA, we're talking about the hillbillies. FAA put up another no-fly zone over the flood areas of North Carolina.
That interfered with some of the relief efforts that people had organized privately.
No, they just renewed it.
There's also a few no drive zones, so people can't even get a 4x4 and truck water and stuff, water and food in. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. It's like they're trying to kill them all off so they can turn it into mountainside McMansions.
Yeah. Well, they also found a lithium deposit.
Oh, good Lord. Third most common element in the universe. Let me guess. The other big lithium supply is in a communist country.
Yeah.
Like titanium.
Yeah. Well, here's the big thing. That rocket guy, his batteries that they're going to release in 2026 don't have any lithium in it at all.
I wonder who got advance notice. No, when they were building the SR-71,
yeah,
they had to use dummy corporations to buy the titanium from Russia to build an airplane to spy on Russia with. We're sneaky, ain't we?
Yeah. John's probably heard this story. SR-71 coming out of a flight over Egypt or wherever had an engine issue. And the quickest way to the base in England is right across France.
Sonic booms.
No. So they took the trip across France without authorization. Two French Mirage fighters come up behind it. They holler at him, say, "What? Here is this. You've got to land here." Navigator went out the window, or whatever. They're not
Yeah.
navigators. The back seat.
Yeah, the camera guy.
Yeah. Flipped them off and says, "Have we got enough to get us out of here?" He went. Pilot said, "Let's see." Hit the burners, and even with the bad engine, they couldn't keep up with him.
I know.
They thought about putting guns on it, but the problem is it would run into its bullets.
Yes. They also thought about making it a bomber. Trouble is, they couldn't figure out how to slow it down enough to drop anything. I got to go down the hall. I will be
All right.
right back. Let me do
So-
these.
Yeah, what is John searching?
Oh, just looking through pictures. Christmas this, Christmas that. Everybody's sending me
Oh.
Christmas.
I saw an article on the. I still use AOL for email and news. And they said, how much does Mariah Carey make every year for that Christmas song?
Mm-hmm.
She could never record another album, release any more music, and that Christmas song would carry her the rest of her life. $6 million a year in royalties. The gift that just keeps on giving. And I'm checking the lottery. It was just Powerball's just 88 million this time around.
But
And it's still saying pending.
what, for Mega Millions?
Yeah, for Powerball.
Oh.
Oh, it hadn't drawn yet. It don't draw for another 2 minutes.
Correct.
Mega
Mega is up to right now, according to their website, 944 million draws on Tuesday.
Yeah. And you know it'll bump up the closer it gets. That'd be a hell of a Christmas present, wouldn't it?
Hidden. You'd have to buy a bigger stocking just to stuff the stocking.
Yeah. Oh.
Why are you
Well,
buying Italy? Because it's in the shape of a boot. I'm going to paint it
Yeah.
red, and that'll be the stocking I'm going to stuff with $1 billion.
Cash out is $472, and since I'm in Tennessee, I don't have what am I trying to say? Income tax.
Let's see here. Powerball. Oh, wait a minute.
You clear out $292.64 million if you take the cash option in Tennessee. I'd almost quit work for that kind of money.
You're
I don't
retired.
I don't work.
You'd hire somebody to run a Halagon for you. And just show up and shake hands.
You know, at one time, I actually thought about starting a company that all they do is organize conventions for people.
Yeah, they call them megacons now.
Well,
there's real estate down here that I have thought seriously would be a worthwhile investment to go ahead and buy the land and have
Stone Mountain, Georgia?
a 10-story hotel in Athens and have a 10-story hotel built, and maybe even the land, there's enough land around it to build like a small medieval castle and little peasant huts, sort of like a campground, but insulated with heaters and things like that. Because
I thought about if I won $1 billion in the lottery, was buying up the old steel mill property down by the river, getting it cleaned up and putting in a convention center. But specifically, it's going to be a modular convention center. It's going to have 4 like 100-room hotels side by side with parking spaces all around them. And the front part is going to be the actual convention halls that connect all 4 of the hotels.
That's not a bad plan.
And then if you want a small convention with only like 100 rooms, you're expecting 100 people, you get a section of the convention center. If you want to have a big convention, you can buy up all 4 sections.
Well, now that's the new Lookout Stadium.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be open in 2026, and they ain't even got all the buildings tore down yet.
Are you kidding? You know how long it's going to take them to get all the concrete and soil and PCBs and all the other crap that steel mill dumped into that soil out of there?
No, they're actually going to come in and clay cap it. 4 feet of clay cap.
Yeah. EPA is going to get involved on that.
Yeah, I was about to say I'd like to see the
it's
environmental
too close.
impact report on that one.
It's too close to the Tennessee River, and the cleanup cost on that property is going to be.
That's what I said. They're 4 foot cap is the minimum.
Yeah.
Clay cap on top of it.
They'll probably have to like put down 6 feet of reinforced concrete just to make everybody happy. And don't tell anybody you're doing it. Just like go in and truck in all the rebar overnight and start pouring the concrete. By the time they get the police out there to tell you to stop, it's done.
You've already got it covered 6 feet in clay.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was a rule in the Army that it's easier to ask forgiveness than it is to ask permission. So just do what you want to do, pay the fines.
That's right on up there with never volunteer.
See, John, that's why the property sat vacant for so many years. The environmental cleanup. County says, we want to put our baseball stadium here, and everybody went, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're going to do with the old baseball stadium.
It's going to be torn down and turned into they're going to bring that hill almost down level. Hawk Hill will not exist anymore.
Turn it into a giant fucking parking garage.
That's what they did with the Varsity. It was supposed to be a grocery store. I think it's just going to be a parking garage. And the Varsity, for God's sakes, that's an institution.
Mm.
And it's been 4 years, and we're still waiting for the replacement one to be built. Oh, that I'm just very irritated over that.
See, if they had been smart, what they'd have done is torn down the Varsity, built a huge parking garage, and put the new Varsity on top of it.
No, that would have been smart.
Exactly. That would have been brilliant, because then you could have put the big parking garage up. People could have parked in the garage to go to the Varsity, and then you got the big restaurant with the indoor eating area, and then you have an outside deck where you can see Atlanta. in the
No,
summertime.
this is Athens. Atlanta varsity
Oh.
still exists.
Oh, does it? I thought
Yeah.
that was the one they were tearing down.
Well, they might be now. I don't know. It's the one in it. They already had turned the small one downtown, which is basically about the size of $2
Shoney.
Generals.
Yes, but yeah, like a Shoney's. If you
Pretty
remember Shoney's.
much. And they ripped out the interior and turned it into a video game room, and then a bar and a restaurant, and both of those went belly up in no time. And I don't know what's in that space now. I think the realtor who owns that is just paying property tax to Clark County for nothing. And they came up with the idea of, hey, we're going to take the oldest one in Athens and we're going to tear it down and turn it into a grocery store. And it's not even a big chain store. It's just somebody new. But they bulldozed the building, plowed up the parking lot, and it's been sitting there empty ever since. Nothing is happening. There was plans to build one out towards 316, which is one of the major routes from Atlanta to Athens. If you don't mind stopping every 100 yards, they wouldn't let them build overpasses and underpasses, so Georgia DOT said, we're just going to put in stoplights, as many of them as we can afford to buy, and make this as inconvenient a road to use as you could possibly imagine. And there's probably people on that road that started off in 2019 that still haven't reached the far end of it yet because of the stoplights.
Sounds like here in Chattanooga, there was a stop crazy. There was a little area down by the river that used to be the old technical school here in town. Kirkman had that smokestack in the middle of it. And the smokestack was deemed a historical.
It was part of the original brewery in Chattanooga back before Prohibition. That's how old this
is. This Atlanta developer bought the property and said, okay, we're going to tear this down. And they went, no, you can't tear down the smokestack. You can't tear down the smokestack. It's historical. You can't do that. And, you know, he hem-hawed and argued around and all that. Then the former mayor of town says, I'll tell you, who was a developer, says, I'll buy the property from you. He went, get out from under it, hell yeah. First thing that son of a bitch did was hook a bulldozer to it and pull it down.
And then file for a permit.
And this guy lost his ever-loving mind because he used his blueprints to build the condos that's on the property now.
It's like same people, they went out to the Chattanooga Choo Choo and tore up all the historic railroad stuff out there and put in those damn cracker box apartments they got back there. Tore down the old signal building, tore up all the tracks, and just
removed all the little tourist trap shops.
Yeah.
Well, those were
Those-
already gone by then, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that was one of the most charming things about it. It reminded me of Cherokee and Gatlinburg and places like that, where you still had the little hole in the wall shop, and they were just so fantastic.
Well, this guy turned around and sued the mayor's development company, because that was what was holding him up from building anything.
Not being able to tear down the chimney.
So he sued him. They got to court, and the judge went, "Oh well." In appeal, the developing company says, "Yeah, we'll just settle with him." They got theirs.
Yeah.
If you go down by the aquarium, it's that apartment and the little shops along the bottom. Of course, the people that paid the $10 million for the 4 penthouses across the top that have the view of the river that used to watch the Riverbend Festival, they're a little pissed now because none of that big festival's not there anymore. And whenever they do anything on the little green out in front, the stage faces the river.
So that I don't get a preview of anything.
No.
That's like having an apartment behind the big concrete dome out in California, the big famous stadium out there. Concert stadium, not football stadium. So even the sound gets projected away from you.
Yeah. Oh, and out by Hamilton Place Mall, this developer came in, bought up this entire neighborhood to build an extension to our Hamilton Place Mall. More shops and all that. And they said, no, the city and the county agreed nothing north of Shallowford Road will be developed. That will remain residential. He argued, him and Hall. Well, CBL and Associates says, here, we'll buy your property out and we'll build townhomes in here. Would you believe the day after the closing on the property, it got rezoned and approved for retail?
The right hand don't know what the left hand is doing, or somebody getting paid.
Oh, there was a lot of payment under the table.
Hey, Joe.
Joe,
Howdy.
We have
a little
the
late. If you can't get
Chattanooga
here
has-
on time, just get here when you can.
Chattanooga has the best city council that money can buy.
Yep.
And frequently does.
And frequently
That's the trouble with politicians. They don't stay bought long enough.
But the best thing that ever happened was Bob Corker. I mean, I actually heard him say this. I mean, he, in his voice, in person, the reason he quit being a United States Senator for the state of Tennessee, I'm not crooked enough to be in Washington.
I will accept that
like,
answer.
When they bury him, they're going to have to screw him in the ground.
Davy Crockett once said, after his time as a congressman, he goes, "I'm glad some people had some good sense to vote me out of that damn office."
I was making fun of a bunch of the folks in town during the last council election because they're a whole bunch were, we're going to run. We need to replace this council. Cut off for the Democrats to sign up, came and went. Only the council that's currently on had signed up.
Mm-hmm.
the deadline for the Republicans to sign up and the independents came and went. Nobody signed up. That day after I got on Facebook, I'm like, so what happened, guys? Thought you were running.
Yeah, for the hills.
And one of them was like, why don't you run? I said, because I got better things I can waste my money on than to do a campaign against Sharon.
Yeah, I got too many skeletons in my closet, and some of them still have meat hanging on the bones.
Fire ants, Joe Dog, fire ants. They'll clean those bones off real quick.
This is true.
They're headed your way anyway.
Up near Knoxville, the University of Tennessee has a what do they call it? Forensics.
Yeah, body farm.
The body farm. They teach.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they got this farm out there. It's all fenced off, and they have bodies in various states of decay out there as learning examples for training crime scene investigators and coroners and stuff like this. And friend of mine who works up there with the police department, stuff like that, said, we have to go up there every so often and just make sure there's no new bodies, because that would actually be the perfect place to get rid of a body.
Oh,
yeah.
Just haul it in there, dump it, throw some leaves on it, and if you know how they mark the body, because they always put some like little sign out there about body number, 3218 or whatever the experiment is that they're doing. If you know what the signs look like, just put a number out there nobody's using, and
and Mama's roses never looked better. Oh, sometimes I do wish Daddy had bought a backhoe. It would come in useful so many times.
What was the thing I saw on the internet the other day? There's this old wood chipper, one of the big, industrial wood chippers for cutting up tree remains and stuff like that. And apparently they use red primer on it.
Yeah.
And where they had been throwing all the logs into this and, everything into it to grind it up, had eaten all the yellow paint off of it, or beaten them, scratched, whatever. So you could see all this red primer. If you looked into that hood where they throw the logs, it looked like somebody had been tossing bodies in there. It was.
Oh yeah, it looked like a straight up murder scene.
Stephanie Osborne and I were having an online chat that turned into basically an RPG. And we had Mike Williamson in there and several other people. And apparently I got appointed by someone, quite possibly Stephanie with an evil giggle, to be the procurement officer for scavenging stuff to combat zombies. And I just spontaneously said, well, okay, this is right close to a railroad yard, so we've got an infinite supply of fuel tankers, and I have a very evil imagination, and I put up chain link fences and barbed wire and everything to funnel the zombies into what amounted to a car crusher.
The one
So
I saw,
as they shuffled up to the door, little wet bricks came out the other side.
One of the zombies
actually in The Walking Dead, but it was the shredder.
Yeah.
One of the things I saw that was rather brilliant was this guy was talking about making, what to do for the zombie apocalypse. And his idea was he got a tugboat and several barges on the Mississippi River. had them all hooked together, and had his housing and all sorts on one barge, supplies on another barge. And then this is the brilliant part. He had a wood chipper and several vats. Would feed the zombies into the wood chipper, put them in the vats, and let them cook, and was using them to make biodiesel to run the generators and the tugboat.
Not a bad idea.
Finally, somebody even more evil than I am. I'm
And it was kind of
impressed.
cool the way he showed it. You just pull it up to the shore, drop the little ramps, let the zombies run up into the little zombie corral that he had on the very first
the
barge.
zombie shredder.
Feed them into the zombie shredder. It pumps them back into the tanks where they're cooking up the biodiesel. And I'm like, I don't know about the barge thing, because you're going to have to repair the barges sooner or later. And that's, if you've ever seen anyone repair barges, it's a pain in the ass.
yeah, you've got to get them out of the water so you can do the welding and
it's pretty much, you cut away all the rust. And I don't mean scrape or chip. I mean, you literally go in with a torch and cut out entire parts of the barge, because they rust horribly.
I've seen it on the canal boat videos. Yeah, some of those things are almost 120 years old.
Joe, look at the screen.
Yeah. I bet you nobody was tailgating that truck.
I bet you they didn't even road rage with them.
No, sir. My oldest stepdaughter, her husband gave me a trailer hitch to go on my truck.
Nice.
First time he'd ever seen the truck was today. He goes, "Hey, do you need a trailer hitch? I've got one with 1 7/8 inch ball. If you need a different size, you'll have to get you some pipe wrenches." And I go, "Farm boy got pipe wrenches."
Hey, do you know what those things were created for, Dan?
What?
Those trailer hitches like that with the little thing that slides in? So you can find your shins at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Believe me, I got one on the van.
The Shin Finder 5000. That's what I tend to call them.
Yes.
I think one of my favorite ones is these two rednecks down here at Ingalls backed into the parking because they had these big dually trucks and had the big 4-ball thing on the back where you flip it around depending on which size trailer you. And they backed in. It was they all worked at the same contracting company, and they showed up for lunch. And we're going to the deli there at Ingalls. They went to back into one another and smack those two ball hitches together and couldn't get them back apart.
Oh no!
Somebody had to pull a pin.
No, that's just it. They couldn't pull the pins because of how mangled these things were.
Guys, I hate to say this, but there's like 5 minutes still. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, well, we've been used to doing 2 hours per show. Now it's 90 minutes. We have to get used to shutting up occasionally.
Yeah.
Then we'll spend the last 5 minutes here talking about Joe's latest stupid idea.
Yeah.
He wanted to get an old rotten deuce and a half that somebody down here in Rome, Georgia is selling.
I don't see how anything can go wrong with that.
Okay. I was looking at the serial number on it. It is a 1956 model. The rubber coating on the steering wheel, which is basically, it's kind of like a 1/2 or 1 inch rubber tubing over the steel steering wheel, has dry rotted so badly that there are like 1/2 inch gaps where it's cracked all along the steering wheel. it's been sitting underneath a pine tree somewhere, and the pine tree has removed all the paint on the hood, and no telling what the back end looks like.
That'd be fine.
That'll buff out.
Exactly.
And the paint they painted those things with is a cancer-causing agent, so you can't even, if you buff, go and sand it down, it's
You have to chemically strip it.
Yeah, but I mean, according to California, everything's a cancer-causing agent.
California,
Air, food,
cancer-causing
water, California.
Hey,
Yes.
California is so screwed up that their squirrels are becoming carnivorous. I kid you not. It's been in the news.
Hey, I'm trying to find the negative part of that particular statement.
They're
Well,
starving to death from all the damn vegans out there eating their treats.
No, let's face it. Squirrels eat nuts, and if there's one state in this country that is ate up with nuts, it's California.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
High flight, guys. It's time.
Yeah, we got to say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
We'll see y'all Thursday at 9.
Oh, we
That
are
night.
doing the show Thursday night. We are doing the after Christmas show.
Yes.
If everybody's still sober.
Functional.
The Hangover Show Thursday at 9. All right. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.